Hello and welcome to Top Story. The Chinese authorities are to resume talks with the Dalai Lama's representatives. Quite logically, this announcement has been hailed as a major step forward by the world community. But ever since, Chinese officials have heaped more criticism on Tibet's spiritual leader, urging him to take, quote, credible moves to stop activities aimed at splitting China and sabotaging the Beijing Olympic Games. And yesterday, the Dalai Lama warned talks with China would be pointless unless Beijing is serious about finding a solution to the Tibetan issue. So after years of stalemate and the recent wave of violence in Tibet, can we expect anything from these talks? And what prompted Beijing to agree to them 4 months before the start of the Olympic Games? Well, to discuss the issue, I'm now joined by Jampal Chozung, the Dalai Lama spokesperson here in France. Mr. Chozung, thank you for joining us. My first question, what do you expect from these talks? Do you regard them as a turning point, as a real opening from Beijing, or is it just a mere attempt to try and save the Olympics?
Well, I think you rightly pointed out initially, actually from our side, His Holiness's envoys, we are always ready to have a serious talks. Now at this point, I think this is at the moment, because till Saturday, we haven't received official invitation to come for the talks. I have checked to our headquarters in India till Saturday. They haven't received. Unless first we receive an invitation, our envoys will not go. And second point is, if this is just to salvage the Olympic Games, I think this is going to reach nowhere. Because as you know very well, from 2002, 2006, 2007, June, there has been 6 rounds of talks, and there hasn't been any concrete solution because of the Chinese conditions that they have been putting, which you have rightly pointed out initially.
So this time there haven't yet been any contacts between the envoys and the representatives of China?
No, at the moment we haven't received any invitation because we are to get an official invitation. No invitation has been received till Saturday.
Until Saturday, but have there been any contacts since Saturday?
I tried to contact during Sunday, but I couldn't reach to Dharamsala. So I don't think they have sent anything during the weekend, and let's see today.
Okay, the Chinese authorities have put 3 conditions for these talks to take place. I'd like to hear your reaction on them. They have asked the Dalai Lama to stop splitting the motherland, to stop instigating violence, and to stop sabotaging the Olympic Games. I'd like to hear your response to the first claim. Is the Dalai Lama splitting the Chinese motherland?
Well, that they have been doing this all the time. Firstly, to, sabotaging what happened in Tibet. We should have direct contact. We don't have a direct contact with the Tibetan people inside Tibet. We believe what happened in Tibet is a spontaneous resentment of the Tibetan people for the last 49 years for their repressive rule. And now they thought this Olympic Games is an opportunity for the Tibetan people to raise their voice for their fundamental rights. So there is no reason that they have been alleging Dalai Lama. All what happened in Tibet has been because of doing everything behind the scene by Dalai Lama and those of us who are in exile.
So the Dalai Lama is not promoting independence for Tibet?
Definitely not. You know very well that in 1988, he has announced what is called a Strasbourg proposal in the Strasbourg European Parliament. From that day to this day, Dalai Lama didn't say anything that he or the Tibetan people wants an independence. In other words, Dalai Lama and the Tibetan people have been saying, okay, give us a genuine autonomy within which we can practice our language, religion, culture, environmental issues, educational systems, and economy in other words, what is happening similar to what Hong Kong is at the moment. So at the moment, Chinese haven't come to that point.
Now, about the claim that the Dalai Lama is using the Olympic Games to sabotage them, what is your response to Beijing about that?
There is no ground at all. Again, if we look back in 2001 when IOC has awarded Olympic Games to China, at that very moment, Dalai Lama supported IOC's decision because the reason being, if the world is looking for improvement of human rights, democracy, and individual freedom in China, if we try to isolate China from important international events like Olympic Games, I think it would be very difficult. On the other hand, if we can bring China within the international community, it's more easy for important world leaders to see how China is improving. So there is no reason, again, what they accuse for Dalai Lama.
Now, the Olympic torch is due to travel across Tibet. We've seen quite a lot of unrest in Paris, London. Are you expecting similar unrest in Tibet? And are you opposed to the travel of the torch in Tibet?
Well, officially we do not oppose, but we do not know again because, as I said initially, we do not have direct contact. Now, at the moment, if we look inside Tibet, although China hasn't declared a martial law, situation is very much similar to 1989 when Chinese President Hu Jintao was a Chinese Communist Party secretary in Tibet. He declared martial law. At the moment, situation is exactly like that. So I don't know whether Tibetan people will get opportunity to raise their voice or say something against the Olympic torch or not. We are not sure at the moment anything, but I'm sure it's going to pass through Tibet and going to go up at Mount Everest.
Do you know anything about the current situation in Tibet? Has the violence stopped?
Well, in Lhasa, definitely everything is under control. Under control in the sense major monasteries are surrounded by the military, and late in the evening, no more than 3 people are allowed to roam around. Now, if we look outside Tibet, especially places nearing to China, what they call Sichuan, Gansu, still there are people who are demonstrating, not for independence, but they are saying we need freedom of religion, we need freedom of association, we need freedom of expression. Now, people are not getting these things, and still there are continuing in pockets of areas in Sichuan, Gansu, and
Mr. Chozang, I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's all we've got time for, unfortunately. Thank you very much for your analysis. Thank you very much for watching us. Stay tuned on France 24. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.